Hello and welcome to this weather update. It's it's about a quarter after 11 on March 3rd, 2019, and we're in the thick of it right now. The snow is coming down, and you can see some heavy precipitation now, getting closer to New York City. You'll see here, this is the radar here, so you'll see that some areas are being impacted by heavy snow elsewhere. Moderate snow has started across our area. It started as rain, and then it changed over to snow around 6 o'clock here on Long Island, at least in the central part of Nassau. And here's what it looks like now on the precipitation type radar, which is, a little more useful in these type of situations. However, this isn't entirely accurate, but you can see generally snowing over Long Island, New York City. Anywhere north, I would say Belmar or I-195, it is snow, but south of there, it's rain. So in Toms River, most Ocean County is getting rain right now, and that's probably going to continue. And heavy rain at that. You can see some really heavy rain. If I move this over a little further south, you can see some really heavy rain. Could even be some thunderstorms in here. Right off, that's very unusual, but not surprising. Right off the southern tip of New Jersey, that's moving toward us. So this is all moving up the coast, and this heavy precipitation. And in the colder air, this heavy stuff will fall as snow. And you're going to see some big flakes. I'm already seeing some reports of some really large flakes out there that are coming down. And we're going to take a look at some of the area roadways, too, after we look at this radar. So you can see heavy snow, particularly over New York City. We'll go now to the cameras. We have some 4-inch reports already coming from Westchester County. We'll look at some of the roads here. They are snow covered here. If you can see this camera here, this is Syosset, so the snow is sticking to the roads now on the North Shore. This is on the North Shore. Let's head a little further out east toward Melville. Not quite as much roadway accumulation. Let's take a look at central Nassau County. Let's take a look at some of these cameras in Westbury. That one's kind of blurry. Let's see if we can find a better one. It looks like the roads are clear over there for now, but it will stay. Yeah, here we go. So you can see it's sticking in Hicksville. So it is sticking to the roads in central Nassau, just as I predicted. Central Long Island, we'll see some roadway accumulation. Let's take a look at the South Shore, though. Seeing a little bit of roadway accumulation on the South Shore, not quite as much. This is in our favorite place, Belmore. Yeah, a little bit of roadway accumulation there, too. The Sunrise Highway is, like I said, the dividing line. You really have to go south of there to see the rain mix in. For the most part, it's snow. It's just cold enough to snow. It's one of those dynamic cooling events where when the precipitation gets heavier, it's enough to cool the air column down, so the whole column it falls as snow. So let's go a little further east, take a look and see what's going on out east. Yeah, this is the Sagatos Parkway by Edgewood Preserve. You can see the roads. They're sort of wet, but again, everything's slippery. I see the snow sticking into the pines. I'm sure it's going to look beautiful. Might actually have to try to check that out tomorrow. You can see, let's take a look at New York City here. So let's take a look at a few more cameras in New York City. Let's see if we can find, let's take a look at Queens. Looks like Fresh Meadows. So, Casino Boulevard at the Expressway. So roads just look wet in the city. You got to remember it's the city, so it holds in a lot of the heat. One's not available. A lot of these are not available, so it's always hard to NA. It's ridiculous. Got to keep trying to find one that works. That's not available. Trying. Well, you'll see. None of these work. Got to be kidding me. Let's see if we can get some of these. Nope. None of them work. None of them. Thank you, Polly Trottenberg. Apparently New York City doesn't believe in maintaining its cameras. Doesn't look good in Westchester. They're getting hit very hard. I can't even see over there. Oh, look at that. It's like almost like a nearly whiteout. So, yeah, they're getting hit very hard in Westchester. Let's see. What about Manhattan? No live feed. Nothing. I give up with New York City. I don't know what it is with their cameras. They don't work. Nothing works. Oh, my God. Thank you, Polly Trottenberg. Oh, my God. She's horrible. I don't want to rant on her, but... Andy knows what he's talking about when it comes to her, because she don't care about... All right, let's take a look at New Jersey. Let's see what's going on there, because I have a feeling it's just raining there. Yep, looks like it's just raining. They got a little snow on the ground. Mostly rain. Yeah, it's all wet over there. So, yeah, it's mostly rain in Ocean County and further south. So, probably from this point, it's all rain. I just wanted to show you what was going on out there. Let's look at the latest radar here. and see what's going on here, and it seems to have stopped. So let me play it again. It's not moving. You know, this is so annoying with Wonderground. You know, I want my Intellicast radar back. Look, it's not moving. I have it on 5 times loop. It's not moving. All right, let's gonna have to hit refresh. Oh man, then I got it. Oh yeah, when I do this, it takes you back out. Why does it take me over California? It's not where I am. I apologize for these technical difficulties. You know, they took away our Intellicast radar, and I have not found a proper substitute. So, again, I do apologize for that. Let's try to loop this again. See what happens. Yeah, you can see that this line actually is starting to move. So here's Tom's River, so it's almost right on the line. But you can see Tom's River is going to be mostly rain. Just north of this area, it's snowing. And this line seems to, you can almost see like some indications of mixing on Long Island. And I bet there are on the east end and on the middle of the island and stuff like that. Could be some mixing going on. But it is snowing pretty heavily out there. It's a shame I can't get better cameras for you to look at. I really wish we would. See, let's try some of the areas in New Jersey. Let's go over here and see. Oh yeah, it's coming down over there too. So this is again Central Jersey. So it's definitely coming down in Central Jersey. This is further north. That one's not working. That one's not working. All these cameras, they can't keep them. That one's unavailable. Alright, so you see what's going on here. It's actually Long Island. The ones on Long Island seem to work really well. So we'll just stick with that anyway. We basically cover Long Island anyway. Here is the South Shore again. Looks like the visibility is pretty good over here. This is Hempstead Turnpike somewhere at Hempstead Turnpike at Wandsworth Avenue in Levittown. So yes, it's not that bad. It does not look that bad over there. It does not. But when you go to the North Shore, it looks worse. Still not that bad. The visibility doesn't look that bad. So we may be having some rain starting to mix in on Long Island because the visibility doesn't look that bad. So that's what I'm saying. We're going to get some of this mixing. So let's take a look at some of the models. You know, I don't really do this. You know, when we're in the storm, we're kind of nowcasting. The GFS is obviously off. You know, the rain snow line is off on this. I'm not even going to look at this. Let's go to the NAM. Not even going to look at this. This is a little more accurate. So we'll look at the NAM, and you can see it has that rain snow line. Looks like it's trying to make inroads in Long Island, and here's that heavy. I'm gonna have to look at the lightning and see if there's some thunderstorms. Look at how heavy this is. This is the same system that spawned severe weather in the south, believe it or not. So, yeah, it actually tries to change the main part of. Literally, it could be pouring rain in Patchogue and pouring snow in Port Jefferson. The way this is going, that's just crazy right there. All right, and that moves out, and like I said, it'll be done before the rush hour. It'll be done, but then the problem is that the roads and everything are going to be a mess, so it's going to take up time to dig out. There could be mass transit impacts and stuff like that. Let's take a look at the total snowfall. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. So it barely gives Tom's River anything, but you go just north into say Freehold, and you're getting maybe you got 4 inches or 5 inches. And New York City is getting more like 7 or 8 inches here, and it has, like I said, the higher amounts North Shore, Long Island, into Westchester. That's the NAM for you. Let's take a look at the HRRR model. And the HRRR has the similar idea here. A similar idea with this. Heavier amounts, literally, you could see the difference on Long Island here. Heavier amounts. I'm sticking sort of my original, look at my forecast at the end here. Let's take a look, go back to this part and see. Well, now, you know we're going to be getting a lot of precipitation, so this is going to be a wet storm. So there it is again. There it is again. So it's going to be a wet storm where you're going to have an inch or more of liquid equivalent. We went over that in the other video. And then that pulls away. So, well, you know, I'm looking at all the models here. We'll look at one more here, HDRPS. Show you the models here. HDRPS, the other model here. Let's see how this handles it. It doesn't change long. It does change the South Shore over. That line is so tight. It really is so tight. That's just something else. Let's take a look at total snowfall forecast on this one. Similar. So you can see where that cutoff is, and all the models are indicating that there's going to be a dividing line here. So let me just refresh this radar again. You can see this really heavy precipitation over the city, but you can see this is also moving our way. And the question is, when this gets here, who's going to have rain and who's going to have snow? Because literally a couple of miles could make the difference between heavy rain and heavy snow. That's how crazy this storm is. It's pretty nuts, actually. Let me look at lightning and see what we got. Do we have any lightning out there? That's what I'm going to see. Yes, there is some. There has been some lightning strikes. Nothing current, but there has been some lightning strikes over here in this area here. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's some lightning with this. Let's take a look at the satellite. Look at that. And then I'll go again. We'll try to get some more images from the roads. We're waiting for that to load. The other concern, of course, while we're waiting here for that to load, comes down and cause some power outages. So let's take a look and see. We have some very widely scattered power outages. Looks like there is one in Hicksville. Very small. This area right here in Hicksville seems to have a power outage. There will be some small power outages. I don't think there'll be that many, but there'll be a few. There'll be a few power outages as a result of this. And we're still waiting for the satellite. There it is. Alright, so here's our storm on the satellite. You can see just the moisture coming out literally right up the coast here from the storm. And you can see some of the convection too. So these are thunderstorms over here. You can see that. Thunderstorms. Yes, that's right. Thunderstorms with this storm. So it's the storm has got a lot of moisture with it and some warmth too. So let's just go right to the forecast already. So, alright, this is my forecast. Hasn't changed. I haven't changed it very much, as you see here. 1 to 3 south of this line. Basically, Toms River is going to get an inch or so, and that's it. Go north of that line. Central Jersey. Well, no, I won't even call this all the Central Jersey. Monmouth County. 2 to 4 inches, and that 2 to 4 inches is on the south shore of Long Island there, south of Sunrise Highway, where I don't even think they'll be up to 4 inches. Probably more like closer to 2 or 3 inches on the south shore. And then you have the central part of Long Island, Middlesex County, part of Brooklyn there, southern part of Brooklyn, southeastern Queens, where you're in that 3 to 5 inch range. All right, where I think really we'll probably be right in that 3 to 5 inch range, because I think the totals are going to get held in. I think there's going to be some mixing of rain. I really do. There's some indications of that in the models. I think so, but it's very hard to predict where that mixing occurs. You know, it could be raining in East Meadow and it's snowing in Hicksville. You know, it's going to be very hard. But if you're here, it's probably closer to 3 around Hempstead Turnpike, and if you're around Hicksville, Mineola is probably closer to 5 inches. And then as you get on the North Shore, 6 to 8 inches. That would be North Shore, Queens, most of New York City, 6 to 8 inches. 6 to 8 inches. And again, it depends. You might be closer to 6 in Syosset and more like 8 in Port Washington. All right, that kind of thing. So that encompasses coastal Connecticut and most of New York City. And then I added a higher 7 to 10 amount, because I think some areas in Westchester County, Bergen County, Rockland County, this whole area here could wind up, because they're right now been snowing heavily. They're staying snow throughout the entire event, so they could see the most 7 to 10 inches. But that is what that's what I think is basically going to happen tonight with this storm. It's rough because it's hard with that line. It really is hard with that line. But either way, it's going to be slippery. It's going to be dangerous out there. You're going to have to allow yourself extra time. The snow is going to be heavy, wet snow, very hard to shovel. Hopefully you have a snow blower. It's going to stick to the trees, weighing them down. So like I said, there could be some scattered power outages. And New York City has already, if I didn't say before, has closed schools tomorrow because of this. Maybe a little overkill, all right, my opinion. But parts of the city are going to get hit hard. It's going to be hard for the roads are going to be slippery. It's going to take until probably 10, 11 o'clock for most of the roads to be cleared. So again, in the morning when you get up the roads, probably, especially anywhere from, I would say, north of the Southern State Parkway on Long Island, the road's going to have snow on them. So that's going to stay there, and you're going to have to be really careful. It's going to be really slippery, especially on the North Shore. it's going to be very bad, probably very hard for people to get traction on those hills. So even though it's not a huge snowstorm, it's going to be enough to make travel difficult. So that's why there's this winter storm warning in effect until 7 a.m. And that will be the last weather update of the night. Please be safe out there. If you have to go out, please take your time. And I would urge, if you can, just try to leave a little later tomorrow, when you go out in the morning, so the road crews can and everything can get back on track. But as far as Jersey Shore, Ocean County, they're going to get off easy. They'll just have, I don't know why they're under a winter storm warning. I don't think they're going to see much of anything. They'll see a couple inches, and that's going to be it. But for us here on Long Island, the storm will have a pretty significant impact. So that will be it for this weather update. Take care, and thank you for watching.